Good morning, good morning, good morning to you all. I pray you all are having a wonderful and blessed day this morning. Let's go into our Father's prayer before I get this conversation popping. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Lord, give us this day our daily bread and forgive us our trespasses. We forgive those who have trespassed against us. Lord, lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thou you are the kingdom, the power, and all the glory, forever and ever. Amen. I wanted to do this conversation. Actually, I wanted to have this one on my laptop so I can, pull up videos or whatever. But right now, I'm having some technical difficulties. My internet services is not working right now due to the fact that I just got a message from them saying that they having some problems that they trying to resolve the issue in this area. So just be patient with me as I go through this again with you all about bringing this awareness about these sinister men taking their girlfriends out of this country and having them unalived. This is really starting to become a problem in the United States of America. And these are the things that the Christian community needs to come together to fight against crime against women and with children. We saw this happen so many times before the Ashleys, before the Sades, and the things that took place with Shanquilla. We cannot allow this to continue to just go away. It's not going to go away because it's happening more and more each and every day. It's going to be somebody else's daughter and another child being harmed, or a child going without his or her mother. And we got to put an end to this. We have to find some kind of way to put an end to all of this and to move in the spirit of God, the spirit led by God, to help these families and these souls that are on the line that we see going on in the world. God put this on my heart to bring this to the attention of all of those who come to my channel, those who view my channel, those who read some of my community wall posts. This has got to stop in some kind of way. This is really troubling. Instead of people going after Trump all the time, he's doing his job as our elected president of the United States of America. President Trump also had banned certain countries from the U.S. And that also banned means some of us should take some safety precautions. When we hear that we want to go travel to these foreign places, advisory is important. It's important that you look at the ban list of what countries are being sanctioned from the United States of America. Right now, we have a crisis going on in the United States of America where people are overstaying their visas. We have criminals that are living here in the U.S. The president is trying to put as much pressure as he can to do what he can for the American citizens of this country. But it also takes the American citizens of this country to work along with what he is doing. He's only one man. He's not God. He's a man. But he was elected to do his job to be our chief and commander over this nation. He can't get to every mother. He can't get to every family. That's why it takes the community of the love of the community, the people that are Christians, the Christian community. These are the things that you are on call to do, not politics. But we see crime happening rampantly against women and children. It's not about the fact that Ashley Robinson was dating a so-called mogul or businessman that had a lot of money and he was from a different background or race. That's not the thing. He's a man. Okay? Point blank period. People could date whoever they feel they attracts them or their preference or whatever. Nobody should have to control who your heart should love. Okay? That's not the point. And I'm sick of hearing the conversation surrounded around his race. It's not about his race. It's about what he did as a man. And this could have been any man. Doesn't matter what color his skin is. She did try something different. She wanted to find out how it feels to date on the other side. If this would have worked for her. And then somehow she probably was already falling in love. She really thought this man cared about her. And I'm sure she cared about him too. She showed, and in those pictures don't lie. She showed that she was really enjoying his company, his friendship. And she felt protected around him and she felt safe around him. She would never went with him if she felt he was in danger in her life in any kind of way. And then on top of that, that was her work. She promoted beauty. She promoted the lifestyle of those who are the celebrity lifestyle. That's the kind of work she was into. I don't care about her the dating part or whatever. She could date whoever the hell she wanted to date as long as she was happy and they were happy together. I have young family members, they date outside of black. They don't date black men. But only thing I'm concerned about is their safety. That's with any man. I don't care if he's orange. No one has a right to take somebody out of the United States of America and take them to a foreign country and kill them. And think that nobody is, and they're going to get away with it. There are black men who have done the same thing. It doesn't matter the color of his skin. It's what he did. And it was wrong. Point blank, period. I don't care if she promoted beauty. I used to watch her channel. Makeup and some of the nice dresses. I like nice clothes. I like nice things. Some kind of way to give me an idea of how I can make myself look beautiful and go into certain events and engagements or whatever. I don't mean wearing it every day, but just an idea of fashion. I get magazines all the time on fashion. I look at models. I look at what they wearing and how I can change it to look right for me. Give me some ideas in my creativity of fashion. I like makeup, hats, bags, shoes, you name it. I may not come out here looking that way all the time because this is not what my channel is for. Her channel was for beauty and the lifestyle of celebrities and the lifestyle of the rich and the famous that she promote. It's like promoting. I have a cousin who promotes traveling places. Sometimes she takes her mother with her and her sister with her to travel, to promote food places and places of restaurants and wine and stuff. And that's what Ashley did. She wasn't doing anything wrong just because she fell in love. And I don't appreciate people making her story sound like she did something like victim blaming. She fell in love with an older guy she thought cared about her. She trusted herself to go to a foreign because he's already been to other places with him before. We don't know what really happened, but we know that Ashley is no longer here. And she's away in Tanzania somewhere. We don't even know. Tanzania. A third world country all the way somewhere in Africa. A poor place where they only have this tourist places where they make their money. This is scary. This is sick. It's sinister. And I hope to God that that man is being held in a cell like he's in prison And thank God that I believe the embassy is behind this now, taking over the investigation. The United States Embassy, because there's just too many holes in the story, and it's just too much that he showed of himself that shows that he's guilty of a crime. This man was just recently married before and left his wife while she was dealing with a mother who was terminally ill. He sounds like a very sick man, and he sounds like he's dangerous. And we can't allow people like him to do crimes like this in another country and feel he can get away with it. And I believe the church should apply the pressure. The Christian church, the black, the white, the organizations, all of y'all are attacking Trump right now. This is the stuff y'all need to be paying attention to. Let Trump do his job being the president of the dong on United States, because that's what we, the people, elected. And this is the stuff we need to pay attention that's going on in our communities. And especially to the women and the children. I just came across the video. I went over it last night, but my husband interrupted me, phone calling me and everything else like that while I'm in the middle of a video. I didn't want to do it on the phone because I didn't want no interruptions, because this message is so serious and it's so important that it gets out there to the people. Stop making content about how she didn't like black men. She dated black men too. She was a person who went out to promote the work of this lifestyle. It's a lifestyle that she promoted of the rich and the famous, the lifestyle of glamour that she was promoting. We don't know who was invested in her. People probably invested in her, sending her things, because that's what happens. People want you to promote their stuff. And she was doing, that was her work. That's why they had photos of her work and everything of her last bit of work that she did at the safari while she was in Tanzania. That was promoting something as you travel there to, that place, and that's the wildlife there. That's the life there. She showed you. They had Happy Birthday, Ashley. She probably was out there for business. We don't know the whole story of what really happened about the proposal. I thought that photo shoot was so beautiful of her walking and him proposing to her and the lion in a safari, exotic way. I thought it was a beautiful photo shoot, and the video was gorgeous. Everything about it was beautiful. She did it so well. But my heart right now aches for this young girl, for this young woman's mother, and for the father. And I don't see the church getting involved like they should to help that family. It shouldn't even have to be a GoFundMe. They can make a collection and take up the collections at the church and stand behind this family right now. Because this can happen to anybody's child, anybody's daughter. It could be your daughter next. Doesn't matter what color she is. Because I've seen so many videos. Excuse me, I'm crying right now because this is how much it hurts. I don't wish this on nobody's daughter, regardless of what she was. She could have been a prostitute. I don't care. Nobody has a right to take her life and pretend that they in love with her and they care about her and take her to a foreign country and just take her life and just take it and just say that she didn't find her life worthy enough to stay alive. It's scary. It's sickening. And this man needs to be brought to justice by the United States of America for what he did. She was an American. That was it. She was an American. Y'all could go to these foreign countries and try to save Somalians and the way they live their life over there. But what about this American woman? This man took her out there and just killed her. Or he knows who did it and he was probably a part of it. I don't know. But whatever way it happened, somebody's going to have to be brought to justice. She's not my daughter, but she's the age that she could have been my daughter. And my heart grieves for her. My heart grieves for her mother. My heart grieves for her father and all those who loved her. I didn't know Ashley like that. I know I used to watch sometimes, the beauty things that she did, Ashley Janae. You go through channels and stuff and you get familiar with some people's channel. I wasn't there all the time, but sometimes I did see her work. Because sometimes I look at things about hairstyles and also protective hairstyles, makeup, and people, showing modeling clothing for certain seasons and certain events and whatever, occasions, wedding gowns, whatever. Women, we into stuff. We used to get the magazines. We look at stuff like that. She invested in her work. And people invested in her. But it breaks my heart when I see women and men getting on their platforms and they taking they taking this stuff like, hey, she was with a white. I don't care. He was a white man. It could have been a black man. It could have been any man. But the way her life ended unexpectedly was wrong. And nobody gave the family any information. Especially for him to have called the family 11 hours later. Something had happened to her and she's been taken to the hospital and then nothing else heard from him. Not even to say to the family and everything that she's deceased and I'm sorry this happened. It was, I'm here. I'm going to make sure that we're going to get her back to the United States so we can have a nice burial for her or whatever. That right there, he did not do. So that right there shows that he is guilty of his crime and he feels he's going to get away with it because he's in a country where these kind of people don't take crimes like what happened to Ashley, crimes against women, seriously. Because they have a different way of how they handle their laws over in their country than with the United States, how we handle it. And Ashley body should be on that plane within this week, and the church need to get involved with the family. Not bashing President Trump, not bashing nobody because of their political party or whatever. If they not a Christian, they a Gentile. And Jesus said we also supposed to go to the Gentiles too. And we must take care of our own first. And that's one of ours. She's an American. We could go and try to save people over in all these other foreign countries, talk about doing missionary Christian work. What about doing this kind of work? Of getting that girl body on the plane and getting her back to the United States of America. So she can be buried and she can have her loved ones at peace. This has got to stop, y'all. This has got to stop. It could be anybody's daughter. I got nieces. Maybe they don't call me every day. Maybe they don't talk to me at all, but I still care. I still care. I don't want this to happen to nobody again. I don't want nobody's daughter to go to a foreign country and be harmed like that. And I'm sick of the way they doing this on the content on some platforms, the way they talking about this girl's life. That was her work. Just like everybody else got a job. She had to make her living. And that's what she used to make her living. her beauty. And nobody has the right to take it. And then this man got the nerve to have a wife. He was married before and he got children. Young children with a monster. We can't let men get away with doing these kind of crimes to women. If he wasn't serious about marrying her and in love with her, he should have just traveled with her to make sure she was there safely and protect her. At least he could have done that. But not take her life. It belongs to God. It don't belong to you. That was evil. Pure evil. And he should be brought to justice in the United States of America, where we could see that he be punished and make an example of him so it won't happen too much again. So it can't keep going on like this to nobody's daughter. America needs to take their jurisdiction to Tanzania and have that man expedited here so he can be brought to justice. And the church need to get involved. He should be brought to justice. We shouldn't allow this stuff to continue to go on. People could just take somebody to a foreign country and kill them. They feel like they're not going to serve no justice. No, she was an American and you took her out of the United States just so you can off her life because there was a ban, a partial ban on Tanzania. If you pay attention to the countries on the sanction list, and Tanzania is one of them. That people from the United States can travel there, but people that come from Tanzania cannot enter into the United States under their visas. Because there's been too many reported of these people not returning back to their country. They're overstaying their visas. And we have a crisis going on in the United States where it's just too many people living over here that should not be in the United States. We have to protect our borders and the safety. And this right here, this man found a way through the system to take this young woman out there and to end her life. Because he felt nobody was going to come for him. He was going to stay and fly away with his money or whatever kind of corruptions he involved in. And paid off some of those poor people and gave them money or whatever to lie for him. And the payment probably was already in advance. The timeline. Right after her, like it showed that she was having a wonderful time out there. After a certain amount of time after her birthday and that engagement, her posting had stopped. Something just, the story just not right. But the most important thing right now that I am concerned about is that he do be brought to justice. And he should be expedited here to the United States of America because that's where she's from. She's not from Tanzania. She's a citizen of this country that you took to another foreign country that is banned from coming into the United States so you can get away with your crime. But you're not going to get away with it because I want everybody who's listening to this to make sure this video gets out and that the awareness gets out and that we keep this story going until we see some changes. That this man will not get away with his crime. And this is what the Pope need to be talking about instead of worrying about what President Trump. Well, he need to go and tell about this man that just took this woman to another country and offed her life. How about that, Pope Leo? And this can happen to anybody's daughter or a member of anybody's family. And when we talk about prayer, we have to move in action. This is a call to action. This can happen to anybody. And another crime that happened, I shared last night with the young mother, celebrated her baby reveal party and everything. And the baby daddy, they took their photo shoots and everything. And guess what? He ended up taking her life, setting it up with his friends because he wanted to move on into another relationship. So he felt by taking her out and that unborn child, that was going to free him from her and go on and have a new life with somebody else. That doesn't, this was a black couple that did it. And it's just so many others. Just like the young girl that went to, not too long ago, her and her sister went on vacation for her birthday celebration. And she ended up meeting a guy that didn't know much about him, but he was there making sure her and her friend and her sister were enjoying themselves and making sure these women were safe. And then he was he was caught up in some kind of crime with drug dealers or what. That's the way the story was told, but we don't know if that's true. But him and her were in a car and they tried to make it a car accident, but come to find out it was a killing. And she was an innocent American woman killed in Trinidad or Martinique on some Caribbean island. It's going on too much, and somebody got to step out and do something about these crimes against women and children. We talking about saving unborn children, but we also need to talk about saving women from these sinister men. They need God's love. They need God's protection, and it got to come from the church. We got to get people's minds back to God. So with that all being said, I'm going to play some of this video, might comment on it if I find anything, but then we're going to go into prayer closing for Ashley Robinson and her parents to get the justice that they so looking for, and they looking for the help and the support from the community, from the American Christians. And you don't even have to be an American Christian. You could just be somebody that cares.
Got arrested. There's so many unknowns in this particular story that many of us are looking for answers in trying to find them. And while black men are pointing their fingers at black women who want white guys saying, "I told you so," you have other people saying this. Black women don't only die in relationships with white men, they are also murdered by black men as well.
Exactly.
Murdered, abused. Black men kill
evil black
their
men too.
partners all the time. Boy, yo, sit your stupid ass down.
They just look for an excuse just to say something because they've been feeling rejected. They feel rejected. They feel like Ashley wouldn't have been somebody that would have hooked up with them, so they want to make it a black and white thing. It's not a black and white thing. It's sick, it's crazy, and it's about men that just want to do sick and sinister shit and take somebody's daughter or sister or whatever to a foreign land and kill them. We want justice in America, okay? We want his butt in America where he can be seen and everybody can see that he committed this crime across the borders, and he should be punished because it was plotted, it was planned, and it's so clear that he done this. It ain't like it was an accident or she didn't know. I mean, that she knew. And you getting reports that they was having these arguments and these fights and everything. Boy, she probably wanted to get away from him and get back to the United States. And he was stopping her, and he also took the way to stop her and silence her because she saw something and he probably didn't want people to know about, and he had to silence her.
Men for everything, even though black men were not involved. But let's get back to the conversation, shall we? Now, again, these beautiful black women will date these white men because these black men are just...
It's not that they dating white men because of the money bag, whatever. People date who the hell they want to date. Stop trying to turn this into a racial thing. It's not a racial thing. Black women have been dating black men since forever. Okay? It's just that now it's more open than it was back then. Slaves were dating their slave masters. Well, they were their bed wrench, whatever you want to call it, but still in all, some of them slaves and their masters had deep love for one another. But it just was illegal for them to be out publicly. But there's some who took the chance to be with their slave wives, the slaves, women, or whatever they had at the time. There's the love story. We could go back to the Bible. We could see what happened between Sheba and Solomon. She was a foreign woman. She came with a foreign relationship, a foreign God, and a foreign everything, but he still fell in love with her. He married her, but her son was denied the throne. That's the story of Solomon and Sheba, not David and Bathsheba, because Bathsheba was from his, you know, origin or whatever. She was from the Jewish culture, whatever, at the Hebrew, whatever culture he was. It was when his son Solomon decided to be with somebody other than out other women outside of his own culture when it got crazy. But all David kids were kind of messed up from the mothers and the relationship he had with their mothers.
Hard to deal with. That's the whole point of the first clip. These white men are just more responsible for black women. And when we talk about responsibility, our
I just say white men have a lot more international influence. They not no different than the black man. Only difference they have is that the white man has a lot more international influence than the black man does. And some black men have international influence and they but look how Africa is. Africa got like 54 countries living in that continent. And in that 54 countries of the continent of Africa, there is a different in culture, language, and ethnicity or whatever you want to call it. So Africa is third world the way it is because Africa does not support other Africa. They have too much division. What's his name? Burkine, whatever his name is, he's trying to bring African nations together to support one another more. Instead of always going to European culture and always wanting to support European culture, he's trying to bring some awareness that Africans should be able to take care of more Africans and support more African nations in their infrastructure or whatever. But Africa always depend on European culture to always be there to back them up when they could just take care of themselves. And like I said, everybody should learn how to take care of their own first. Not saying that people should not build fellowship and friendships with other nations, but I'm saying at least try to get to the point where y'all both can share the same in common as what y'all do to take care of y'all citizens. Don't always look for that one nation to always be the nation to support you when there is these kind of things going on in your country, the population and all the other stuff that people keep leaving out of their country and living in this country and living in that country. You could stay in your own country and try to work with what you got there and try to build your lives. And then you could feel more comfortable when you go to other places. If you don't like it, you can always go back home and just relax and stay home. America always try to influence the other parts of the world to try to be like America. But no, people want to still stay in their old gods and all these different religions just to have one nation under God. You got people coming to America wanting to change America's standards. No, America's standards have worked perfectly throughout the world. Because if it didn't, why so many people trying to come over here, sometimes come here and don't even want to leave? So why would we want to change? To be like you when you can't even stay in your own country to change the problems over there. Make that make sense. That's why I ain't listen to no Mondani or none of them that come from a foreign country trying to govern America or try to get into America's government and try to change the culture of America. Because America culture has been fine, not where you come from. Because if it was fine from where you come from, you wouldn't try to come here and try to run this country. You should be in your own country trying to run your country over there. And what those New Yorkers need to do is they need to run him the hell up on out of there. Him and his coonies. Because he shouldn't be there in the first place. Trying to tell Americans not to celebrate their 250 years. What kind of shit is that? They need to drag his ass right the hell up on out of wherever he at, Gracie Manor or wherever, and send his ass on his way.
Should I say the irresponsibility of black men? There's a lot to be desired. Black men don't take care of their kids. Black men can't keep a job. When a black woman really needs that black man, he is nowhere to be found. So that leaves black women looking for other
Look at
alternatives.
this
And
dress.
not every
This
black
is
woman
cute.
can
Everything she wore was
get the
kind of
kind of white
adorable.
man
It's like
that you
a
want. But if you're
magazine with the
Ashley
models wear
Janae and
certain
you're on
things.
Instagram and you look as good as she does, you will have an opportunity. Because remember, Ashley Janae once said,
She's like her
everyday
father.
black men wake up and find new ways to embarrass us. If you look at Ashley Janae and you look at how happy she was with this guy, Joe McCann's, you would think that she would never deal with black men. She's just done. Because why was she even?
She didn't not just deal with black men. And I'm just so sick of these black men and their insecurities and them crying about every goddamn thing. Some of y'all are just fucked up, okay? That y'all so caught on your skin color and stuck in that mindset that nobody want to be bothered with all that shit. You making life hard for yourself because you beating yourself up with the bullshit. You want to get married and have a family, then get married and have a family and just leave everybody else's how they want to choose their partners alone. Any man could be difficult. And this is the part that makes me mad is about these black men crying when they just doing the same amount of crimes just as the white man doing and some even worse. Your broke poor ass, you know you got a broke poor ass a life and you not trying to do nothing about it but paying attention to what somebody else is doing to try to do something, at least try to work around their problems and trying to do something to make it better. But you want to sit around and complain. I ain't got time to listen to a lazy ass man, a crying ass man. Get your life.
Waste her time. But wait a minute.
How y'all doing? How y'all doing? You know, we keeping it organic. Me and my little chocolate Easter bunny.
Look, she's out with a black man.
Baby, stop playing.
Not something I would
Baby, you know,
say she should hook up with,
about
but
to get in a lick. This her car. She probably put. She just came for to pick me up.
Something like, not too crazy.
She from Philly, so you know she crazy. She toxic.
yeah, she do sound like she's from
You might stab me.
Delaware County.
You told me if I take my hands off, you gonna beat me up.
Because I'm gluing my hands.
I ain't about no trouble. I love y'all. Y'all have a beautiful day.
Is that Ashley Janae with Kevin Gates? Wait a minute, this is interesting because
These celebrities that she was with and everything, they need to be trying to help her family get her body back to the United States of America. And they need to bring more awareness and leave the damn politics alone. It ain't about politics, it's about awareness, and it's about how some women are being taken over to other countries and being unalive. The trafficking. I don't trust Tanzania. I don't trust no third world country when it comes to crimes like this against women. I'm sorry. I just don't trust their jurisdiction because they deal with their jurisdiction different than any other place in the world. I mean, any place than the United States do. And I think I was listening to that on the African model that has a channel. I love her channel. She's always so, brilliant. She's so wise, wisdom, beautiful woman. She's in my age category. I listen to her channel sometimes the way she, bring her own insight and her wisdom to things like this has happened, and she says she couldn't sleep, and I'm feeling the same way she feel, because we are women at this age where we see things from the world views, that we see things through our own experiences of men. But see, we came up in a different time where it was a lot more safe. We didn't have these issues going on where in the internet has to, put their part to the story. We got whatever parts we got from the news, whatever, for awareness. And then all of a sudden, we started to just remember those things and know how to be more discerned with the danger around us. But today, it's it's just sickening how these young women are out being harmed. Just like I did with the other young mother who was in an Uber driver that took her life. First, he sexually assaulted her, and after that, he killed her. That mother and her children will not see their mother again. And she had two children, and she was a young mother. There's so many of these stories of this going on the internet of women that have been harmed, the violence against women. We need to bring this awareness in all organizations. It needs to be brought to the attention of all these so-called Divine Nine organizations and fraternities and everything you can possibly think of that's supposed to go against crimes against women. Me too. Where you at? Y'all came so hard for R. Kelly. Y'all was out here saying he was taking off young girls and doing all of this stuff. But men like this man, y'all not going hard at. I don't get it. Y'all going after the wealthy men. Why don't you go? Yeah, you go after wealthy men, but sometimes go after the wealthy men that we don't know. How about that? And the ones that we do know, we already know they wealthy, they got money, and we know that money can sometimes create a lot of evil, can do a lot of evil. We know that. But these parents were aware where their daughters were, who they were with, and everything else like that. They wanted their daughters to be with a high profile superstar like Robert Sylvester Kelly. And y'all gave him some janky trial and junked up his career and messed up his career and everything. But what about these men like John, whatever his name, Joe McCain, those kind of men, Peterson, or whatever his name was. They got him when he took his wife on a home hiking trip and then end up killing, unaliving her, and try to make it sound like she had an accident. But what about the men we don't know? Doing some more, putting their profile out there. This asymmetric, this man been divorced only not even a whole 2 years yet. His wife, while she was going through her pregnancy and also dealing with the mother, he was married before to another black woman. And he actually left his wife during the most difficult time she was going through in her life. And I don't know if Ashley was aware of it, of how that marriage ended. Maybe she did not go and do any research. Maybe she didn't ask any questions. And you know how some females are when they got the man and the ex-wife, and then all of a sudden she fighting and making the against the other woman, but not knowing that she gonna be the next victim. But pay attention to those ex-wives and those ex-girlfriends, how he treated them, so how he's going to treat you. I went through a situation myself like that where I was dating a man and his so-called baby mama who was married to somebody else before that had children from from her previous marriage. But guess what? He wanted to just use me to hurt her. But then when he got back good with her, had me in between all of this craziness. So me, myself, I let it go. It hurted me. I had to, of course, get through that season. It was a painful season for somebody to not be true to your heart the way you were true to them, and you believed them, but they was only using you because you really wasn't who they really wanted to be with. But I moved on, and at least now I found somebody who is happy, seems happy to be with me. It happens. And I'm not fighting over no man. If he wants to walk and go and be with some other woman, then bye. Bye bye. Especially when I know my heart was already true with you, then you're going to have to find that out and don't come back. Because I'm not going to allow myself to open up to be hurt again by you.
Ashley Janae must have known that Kevin Gates was married, and she had no problem getting into the car with him. Now, this is interesting because Kevin Gates is typically known for dealing with light skinned women only, are racially ambiguous. But Ashley Janae, congratulations, you made the cut. You're the first dark skinned black woman I've ever seen with Kevin Gates. And this makes me recalibrate my assessment about her. See,
Now, see, she has on the Christian Dior sweater. And this shot right here, it just shows that she's promoted fashion, beauty, lifestyle. That's it. She wasn't out to hurt anybody. And she was really basically, she was being fashioned in her own, by God, in her own, in his own image. Just being happily by herself and exploring with all the beautiful, wonderful things about her. And she wore this shirt well. She wore the look well. She marketed herself well. She was a beautiful young woman. And at some point, women get 30 something years old, they want to settle down. That 30 something syndrome is when women want to settle down their life and meet someone and be happy and get married and have children and build a family. They want a family life. And that's probably what she was looking for when she met Joe. She didn't want to hear the negativity. She just wanted to just move in time. And that's when she was moving with Joe, and even though ignored some of the signs that some people were trying to tell her about, sometimes when you want to get there as far as marriage and children and all your life, and you want to settle down with somebody and you feel you really found the right person, you don't want to hear anything that's going to be negative. Because love makes you blind. And love sometimes make you a fool. And I'm sorry that Ashley had to go all the way to Tanzania where she couldn't be protected to find that out at the end. But her life should not be in vain. She should not be just thrown away. We should acknowledge that she belonged here for a lot longer, and also that she did make some people's life better. of self esteem, women to esteem themselves. No matter how unattractive you might be, there is some beauty in somewhere that can be enhanced to make you beautiful. From some people say she was a hard worker. I love the Christian Dior sweater. That's something I would wear. I like that sweater. It's cute. She's wearing it well. Let's go on.
Ashley Janae was a beautiful woman, no doubt. She was trying to get on with anybody. It really didn't matter the race. She's kind of just like Mika. My bad, boo. I didn't mean to do you like that.
He's right, you know.
So, Ashley
Burberry.
Janae got tired of dealing with these rappers like Kevin Gates, who looked at her as a pump and dump, or these other
I don't think she dated. This was publicity. I don't think it was anything to do with the fact that she dated him. They probably got to build a friendship, got to know each other, and she did this shoot, something like, hey, she was out on some kind of, promotion with Kevin Gates, promoting whatever kind of car he drives, his lifestyle. She promotes the lifestyle. She does that kind of, stuff. I don't think it was nothing serious going on. She probably had a lot of men around her circle to promote her or to date on certain occasions. Like, I need a date for the night. Some women, they do that. They'll go out just to be your date for the night. Y'all go out, y'all have a good time, y'all friends, maybe casual sex. I don't know. But not always sex, just to be there, just to be eye candy or whatever. Okay? So I don't think she was seriously involved with Kevin Gates. I don't think no woman is seriously, well, there are some women that are probably serious, take Kevin Gates serious, but I don't know if I could take a man who wears that many gold chains like Mr. T that serious.
guys in the industry who just really wanted to use her for what they wanted to get, or maybe she just wanted to use them for what she could get. And so she
This
finally
was a nice
got the
shooting.
white guy who was obsessed enough with her
I
to
think
give
this
her
was a beautiful. I'd look at it as a photo shoot, and sort of like I'm doing the work while I'm working. I'm also going to share parts of my life, my romance, or whatever. I think it was more like a photo shoot for her. Celebrating her life out. I mean, not celebrating, but promoting the life out there in Tanzania, supporting the safari life. I like the outfit she's wearing. I like the shoot with the zebras and her feeding the zebra and her fiance there with her. I thought it was beautiful. I thought it was a beautiful photo
the
shoot.
lifestyle that these black rappers and athletes wouldn't give her in Miami. I mean, after all, she's from Philly. What the hell is she doing in Miami? Except trying to find a rich man. But again, she's trying to get this white man that will be there
Why
for
y'all
her.
keep saying the white man? We gotta stop saying this, okay? She's out with her fiance, her boyfriend. At the time, her man friend, and it became more serious by him engaging, wanting to propose to marry her at that moment. And I like this shot right here, the black and white dress she's wearing, and then the zebra. And I like the shot because it's it's a combo. It's something there. It's the black and white, how beautiful it looks together. I mean, her relationship with him and the zebra. Remember on what you call it? He say, "Oh, the zebra." He used to call them the zebra, the black and the white, but it looks beautiful together. Me myself, I just saw it as a beautiful photo shoot. Her sharing the lifestyle of the rich and famous, and also the traveling, like safari life in exotic places like in Africa, Tanzania. A lot of people share they travel in life and everything. So she was doing her photo shoots and everything. And I like the outfit, the way they dressed her wearing that nice pearl with pearl, sequences on the gown. I love the dress. I love the dress. She wore it well.
Be responsible for her. I mean, not just clap and leave, right? Because this is what white men do, especially when they get with black women. They marry them, they take them to Zanzibar, they propose.
Oh, please. I'm so sick and tired of them saying this is what the white man do. The white man. White man ain't doing nothing. You stop sitting there and being a hater.
until
His
Ashley
name is
Janae
Joe, not the white
passes
man. His
away.
name is
And
Joe.
all of a sudden, this white man, Mr. Joe McCann, takes a week to tell her family that she's dead. And this is important to know, guys, because even when he contacted the family, remember that
That line is so
well,
And
cute.
the family says next they are considering going to Zanzibar themselves to try to get
But
as
they're going to
many
need
answers.
support to go there. I don't advise them to go there by themselves. That's too far. And then on top of that, we don't know the way these people are over there. The best thing for them to do, while the embassy is involved, I believe there should be some religious leaders with them to support them and everything else as they go travel across to this country. There's no way they should be going by themselves to handle. This is a very um this is a situation that is very serious, and I don't think they should be, traveling without religious leaders, spiritual guidance, with people supporting them in that sort of capacity. I just don't think that's right, or how they get the body back here to the United States of America. Somebody else should be going over there to do that for the family. But anyway, y'all, that's what I wanted to share with y'all this morning. Prayerfully and hopefully that things will work out for the family of Ashley Robinson, that her body will be flown back here to the United States. And being that her family is out here in the state near here where I'm at in Delaware, um, I might be able to attend her services and, give them my support. Also, I have, a way I'll bring maybe my sister or, some friends along with me so we can support the family. I'm trying to get my church and everything also to bring some awareness and also come out and support the family, if my church will be available to do that, because this is a very serious thing that's happening in the United States, and especially to women and children, and it's happening right here on U.S. soil. And now these rich men with money and these millionaires overnight are just taking wives, girlfriends, whatever, to these other foreign countries and unaliving them with life insurance policies or whatever. That it could be some kind of thing going on like that. So you got to be very careful. So I wanted to just bring awareness. But from what I hear, her family do live in Delaware, and if they do have something, services or whatever for her, they probably will be right here in the state of Delaware. And people probably that want to come and show they respect and they love or whatever. I think this should be dealt with a little bit more intimately than just having it done like, oh, we're going to do balloons or rituals. No, we should have search services. And I think that the family needs support at this time and awareness for other mothers out there who's lost their daughters as well through some kind of crime or domestic violence or whatever. And we need more awareness about this because it's happening too much, too much. Okay, so with that being said, God bless you and enjoy this beautiful, beautiful day. I don't know what the weather is where you're at, but today is going to be 90 degrees and I'm going to stay in the cool house and do my job searches from home. I don't want to be bothered with that heat, so I will stay indoors. I'll probably walk out, go to the store, whatever. But other than that, I am going to try to stay as close to home in this heat. So, with that being said, I love you. God bless you and be safe. Peace.